Hey, welcome to Living High, Wild and Free. If you want to learn how to take wild game that you've harvested and turn them into delicious pot stickers like this, then you should stick around and watch this video. Hey, welcome to the kitchen. It is way too cold outside, so it's a good time to process some of that wild game that we harvested this fall. On today's menu is duck pot stickers. So waterfowl that we harvested from this fall, we're going to make into delicious pot stickers with the help of a meat grinder.
Are you seriously trying to talk to me right now? Do you not understand how grinder works? We did what we came to do, but now I'm with my family.
Now this meat grinder is a little overbearing for this project. Not a necessity to have one this large. This is a 1 horsepower commercial grade grinder. So to start off, I have a 10mm grinding plate just to get our rough cuts in. So we have most of our vegetables here. Finally mince up the ginger just to make sure that it gets all made up into little tiny pieces, because you definitely want to get a big chunk of garlic into one of your pot stickers. It would not be very pleasant. Before you just throw a breast in, I always like to double check that no holes. The likelihood of having a BB in there is very low. Just before I chuck it into the grinder, just a little tip for you. Alright, that looks like plenty of duck. And the ratio for duck and pork really depends on how fatty the pork is. You can see that the fat content on this pork is a lot. That is actually mostly fat. So I'm gonna do 50% with this. So, and I just roughly guess it. I know some people weigh it out. I just like to eyeball it. So, I ground quite a bit of duck, and I'll just keep grinding pork until it looks proportionally even. And the mixing process is really simple. It is all mixed up, but we're not done yet. We're gonna send it through the grinder one more time. All right, so I'm stepping down to a 4.5 grind plate. I'm gonna mix it again, but it's already pretty well mixed. Everything in there is now finely ground down. So as I'm grinding, I just have this bok choy now. All right, that is all the meat all ground up there. And I'm just gonna mix it one more time. Just like before, almost like I'm gently kneading bread. All right, now that everything's looking pretty homogeneous throughout the meat, I'm going to add our sesame seed oil. It's gonna make a little dent like that. Now sesame seed oil can be overpowering, so we want to go just like that, just a light little bit. This is a dark soy sauce, so I'm not going to put as much as just a regular soy sauce. It is a little bit more watered down, but still a healthy portion of soy sauce. I may even add a little bit more. We'll see when I mix it all up. The meat will kind of turn a little bit darker of a color, and that's when you know that it's properly seasoned. So when it comes to making sausage or the pot stickers or anything like that, I always err on the caution of mixing it more than I think I should have to, because it's really terrible when you have some bland parts and some really overly spiced parts. And really make sure that everything is as even as possible. So before we take the time and stuff all of our wrappers and make pot stickers, we need to make sure that all of our seasonings are correct. So I'll just take a simple spoonful, and I have a pan heating on the stove that I'll plop it into to cook it and see how it tastes. It's looking really good. Stop focusing on my face. There we go. Oh yeah, money shot. Oh yeah, you want to try some? What about you, Remy? Go ahead, buddy. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, was that just the most tastiest thing? Yeah, you remember retrieving that? Oh, you want to lick the fork? Oh, so good. I know, it was good, right? So there we go, we have a whole bunch of pot sticker meat there. I think it's best, anytime I'm making sausage or anything like this, I think it's best to let it sit in the refrigerator, and what that does is kind of let all the flavors meld together. It kind of brings out all the flavors from the vegetables that we added and all that stuff. So I'm going to let it sit in the refrigerator for about 12 hours, at least overnight, in a sealed container, and then I'll get back to you about how to actually make a pot sticker, like put it together and cook it. Hey, another day, another flannel. We are ready to finally make some pot stickers. And we have some dumpling wrappers and some cold water. Let's get started. So these wrappers come pre-made and they have flour on the outside, which is great for packaging so they don't stick together, but not good for actually making the dumplings. So that's where water comes in handy. Just quickly dip, just like that, just to wet the outer surface. And then just taking a small spoon like this. Oh, what do you say that is? Half a spoonful, I don't know, just a little bit, just like that. Right into the center, a taco kind of thingish made. We go right to the center of the taco-ish thingy, and we pinch one side, like this, and then we press like that. And now we just work down the side, like so. And we're not really worried about imperfections or anything like that. Just like that. Boom. Dip it. So it's just wet. You don't have to soak it or anything like that. Just another little bit. Get it kind of smushed in there nicely. Taco. And just kind of folding in the sides like that. And of course, you get better with time. Another dumpling, then we go and get a little squish, just like so, and it's ready. All right, now that we have a couple of dumplings made up, let's go over to the stove and cook them up. All right, so I have my cast iron pan here, and I put some peanut oil in there. Like so, and I find that it's good practice to kind of move them around a little bit in the pan every once in a while, just by shaking the pan like this, just to keep them from sticking. A little tip, if they're frozen, put the pan at a lower temperature and then bring it up to temperature to a cooking temperature with the dumplings inside. It'll allow the heat to actually penetrate the entire pot sticker, rather than just searing the outside and leaving the inside raw. Remy's drooling, so am I. Look at that. So good looking. Try our first bite. Mmm. Oh, almost lost it. Mmm. Look at that. Mmm. So I would say about 3-4 minutes per side at medium to medium low heat. They are a little bit finicky, so keep an eye on them. It's not something you just kind of want to set and leave. Eventually I'll just freeze the leftover meat, and I'll also freeze the pot stickers, and that's really easy. What you do is just individually freeze them. So like use a cooking tray, lay them all out, put them in the freezer, let them freeze, and then put them in some sort of bag. What I'm going to be using a vacuum seal bag, or you can use just a simple Ziploc bag as well. Well, that's it. It's super easy. It's a little bit time consuming with, you know, with wrapping them all up like that. It creates great future meals that you can just take it right out of the freezer, throw in the pan, and you have this amazing healthy meal that's not processed, and it's made by you, it's harvested by you, you know exactly where it came from. At least I do. I mean, I may have not harvested the pig myself, but I got it from a local butcher. I know the butcher, I know where the pigs come from, I actually know where the farm that they come from, so on and so forth, right? To me, that's really important. I like to have that kind of intimacy with my meal. Like I know where it came from, and to me that's very grounding and connection to those animals that I really enjoy. And then to create something amazing out of that, I think is really paying homage to that animal that I harvested. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you put this recipe to good use. If you do, take me on Instagram at Living High Wild and Free and let me see your creations. I also opened up a Patreon account, and what Patreon is just a monthly subscription. It can be as low as $5 a month, and it just helps support me. It takes a lot of funds to create amazing content and to keep pushing the envelope of what I can produce, the amount of cinematics, things that I can do, and so on and so forth, to help bring better and more content. But nonetheless, I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the film like you are right now, because what that's doing is helping me in the long run. And to me, even if you don't support me financially, that's totally fine. I understand it. Everybody has a different kind of background. I get it. No big deal. But what I really appreciate is you just watching, liking, commenting, messaging me on Instagram, all those things. Like, I think that's really amazing. So thank you for your support. And as always, keep living high, wild, and free.